Leave the brooch to free yourself from the fox clan and give up the drugs to free yourself from shoe manipulation. Actually, yeah. That's that is true. Yeah, hatred sword gone. By the way, yeah, I'm only missing 3 achievements, so we're probably gonna do that at some point. Oh god. It's, you know what? Steam just hit me with a holy shit. I totally forgot this game is out.
Oh, that one.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I mean, Shu is one of the main game's antagonists, but yeah, Agonia wants to tell everyone something.
Oh, it just wasn't finished with, like, I saw you playing Dark Souls, and I know you have problems with playing Dark Souls simply because you cannot adapt to the stamina system, even though you're playing Monster Hunter with exactly the same stamina system.
No. Monster Hunter is not the same stamina system. Not all attacks take stamina. Stamina is more, for balancing the rolls and running away and some charges. Not.
And attacks like in Silent Hill.
Shut up! In Silent Hill, you charge up and then attack. In Dark Souls, is you swing. Oh, hey, this would be a sweet combo. Oh, your stamina's gone. Fuck you.
Same as in Silent Hill F. You swing and you lose stamina.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I don't know what your problem is. That's why I'm saying, no problem. It's a very easy game, but very enjoyable.
I have to say, though, so you are actually here again.
It's a bit sad that there's really... Oh, there's maybe one enemy that can be challenging, but...
Well, also I need to point out that, from what I saw, it really much plays like a Kingsfield, so it's like, it fills a bar and then you can attack.
You can attack before then, but it's weaker, obviously.
Yeah, so... Yeah. I mean, is Shu the game's main antagonist? I mean, to a degree, I would say the main antagonists are the... How's it called? The forces that try to manipulate Hinako. Like, let's just be real about this for a second. But
You're implying we weren't real about it. Or more than a second.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Is Shu... I don't think Shu's like the main antagonist, but holy shit, he's like the main reason why shit is bad. That's fair. Anyway, but, yeah, Dark Souls, I don't know what it is with Dark Souls. I just have problems with Dark Souls. That's a weird thing to say, Maybe I should also, I stream through Neo. Maybe I should do a full run through Dark Souls one day. Then we can move on to Dark Souls 2. I know. Okay, so just so you know, Agonia and I have this thing going on that, she basically said, we're going through the Dark Souls series, and we play them side by side. So she's on a Dark Souls 1 playthrough, and I'm on the Dark Souls 1 playthrough, and I technically should probably start finishing that up, because it's actually going pretty well. It's not hard. I just haven't done it for like a long ass time.
Like you wanted to stream Pikmin 2.
You know what? Don't get uppity. Which is also a horror game, by the way.
Yeah, you can put it in there.
You know what? Maybe we should actually stream Pikmin 2. At some goddamn point.
Oh yeah, right, you did that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny considering on my playthrough on the GameCube, no losses. Or, you know, barely any losses, a few yellow ones. That was it. And then, so Melby, if you're wondering what we're talking about, I streamed through Pikmin 1. The VOD should still be on YouTube, if you want to witness it yourself. And it was one hell of a run. Like, basically, I fucking nailed everything, except until the final boss. Then, as Claire said, it became the March of the Red Army. Because I basically threw all my red Pikmin onto the final boss. And I mean, they defeated it. They did defeat it, but you know, it was truly a Stalingrad for the Red Army. Still one though. I mean, honestly, they don't know how to. That's it is so funny because you need to keep in mind. Yeah, I played through that whole game before on the GameCube without those losses, but then on that day I just jinxed it and sent them all to their death. Just swamped the shit out of the final boss. So yeah, this event is forever known as the March of the Red Army. And some people are way too eager for it to happen again.
I mean, Pikmin 2 fucked you up pretty good. And you weren't even at the hard part yet. Well, kind of.
I mean, okay, so by the way, if you're wondering, wait, what is Igonia talking about with Pikmin 2? The thing is that okay, so basically, I am on the playthrough of Pikmin 2 on the GameCube. Nothing special so far. Just the fact that, I basically, not against the Pikmin 2 stream. I've been promising it for over a year now, so at some point I should get to it. If you know what I mean. The thing is just that, when I think about, the thing on the Pikmin playthrough is that I wanted to finish all the dungeons region by region. And I thought, you know what? There are just 2 dungeons left in the first region. And then Agonia was like, you know, as I was like in level 13 or so, and I stared down it, aka bombs everywhere, just, you know, the bugs that spit balls everywhere, and it was just let's go in with Olimar, slap them to death, then still hope nothing will be killed from falling from the ceiling, and you just sit there and you cry because. And then she's just like, oh yeah, you just walked into one of the hardest dungeons in the whole fucking game. And technically, I didn't need to, because technically, I actually finished the goal of the game already.
I wouldn't say hardest, but it's one of the harder ones, yeah.
The only reason I still did it was like, oh yeah, I just want to do a 100% clear for the dungeons.
Think about it like this. Pikmin 2 just took the gloss up.
Oh yeah, Pikmin 2 had hands. Has hands. I'm just like, no.
But you wanted to talk about something, right?
Oh yeah, the thing that irks me about the whole stuff in, you know, games with AI situation is that, depending on which game it is, that, I hate how devs react to it. Because, like, You have the devs that are just like, oh no, people ignore it, and then so we just keep doing it, and it's like, usually when they use AI voices, which is like, why do people like this crap? Period. It's just, yeah. Aside from the fact that it's going to be used for a lot of shit things, like, hey, it's like how MiHoYo just announced, oh yeah, we want someone to have AI to make better content generation. I just like, remember how they replaced all the voice actor in Genshin Impact and Co. Because they were on strike to prevent exactly that, and all the new voice actors are now going to be like, okay, let me put it like this. The third one is basically a very easy version of the first one. I don't hate the third. It has some interesting things, but the third is piss easy in comparison. The first is like, it has some moments where it's, where it can be tough, but it's more often, the game kind of bamboozles you. So I would say the first one is more tricky, but when you figure it out, it's actually pretty easy to navigate. Like, I blasted through the whole game in 2 to 3 sessions, I think.
3 also, I think, starts with the lock-on function, which wasn't a thing until then. You needed to actually know how to throw your Pikmin.
Yeah, it was not really a problem to have no lock-on, actually. But yeah, 3 just made a lot of stuff very easy, like, or, you can lock on a wall and charge, and that was also not a thing. You had to actually know how to maneuver with the C-stick. Yeah, the final boss is a difficulty spike, but not an impossible one. The second, though... Okay, let me put it like this. The second is legitimately one of those games for the Pikmin weirdos. As in, like, you like that gameplay, fucker? Okay, let's tune up the fucking heat. Because it's a dungeon crawler. As in, like, you have an overworld, such as, Pikmin 2 and 3, but...
F1.
And, 1 and 3, but you find dungeons, and then you have to work yourself through the dungeon levels down, and find treasure. The dungeon levels are randomly generated. So, yeah, you need to be on your A game to get through some of them, because
They're semi-randomly generated.
Semi-randomly generated. There's like a lot of stuff you need to just watch out for, because there are just also more traps, more things that can kill your pick. Like on the other hand, you just have some absolutely dumb strong Pikmins. See, purple and white Pikmin. Like, purple Pikmins are so strong, but also then the game turns into, hey, how many purple Pikmins can you actually can survive? Because you need a lot of them.
100. You need 100.
You need 100, so whoops.
And they're harder to get than the normal ones. Because you can only get them through converting flowers.
Yes, so... Pikmin 2 is tough. Like, let me generally put it like this. It's one of the rare cases that a Nintendo-developed game is genuinely tough. I would say the horror tag also applies to the first, but more in terms of vibes and design and what it has. Like, the first Pikmin game definitely tries to have a bit of this moody alien horror, as in, like, you're on this planet and you don't know, how it works or what the rules are, etc. That kind of moody horror that also Metroid Prime has.
And your life system will give up, and you will asphyxiate through bad oxygen.
It's a pretty simple game still, but overall I would say
the life system countdown is more a mood setter than anything else.
It is a mood setter, yes. But overall I would say if you would, the second game definitely is way more into it's just way more a horror experience in terms of difficulty and what it puts you through. But also, I mean, there are always some weird, horror elements in the Pikmin series, like some enemies that are just downright strange and disturbing, and that's cool. Like, again, Pikmin 2 is one of the rare games where, like, a direct Nintendo developed game is hard. Like, genuinely hard. Not like one of the, one nail biting, but genuinely hard. They haven't done that in a long time anymore. But yeah, the thing about what I want to talk about the AI stuff is, aside from the fact that a lot of the voice actors that were like, oh no, now we can be the voices of all those popular characters. Yep. Get ready to see your voices be replicated with AI, idiots. That's exactly the thing the original ones were protesting, you dumb idiots. Anyway, what I really hate is whenever it comes up that a game uses AI, it's either, devs ignore it, but like, fuck them then. Or there are two reactions. See, one of them is like, whoops, you were not supposed to see that. Which is legitimately the whole, oh yeah, this was just a, placeholder asset that we generated, which is, first of all, you can just do placeholder assets. Like, legitimately.
Purple box, for example.
Yeah, purple box, like, they can be shitty, they can be handcrafted. People have done them all the time. You do not need to AI generate them, because the point is that you do not AI generate shit, because AI generation is bad. So every time someone is like, this wasn't supposed to be in the game, it's more like, whoops, sorry, you saw what we did. And that feels wrong. That's like... That's just very scummy in my opinion. And then the other one was... what was it again? Now I have a problem. Pepsi is drying up my brain. But yeah, that is one thing why I just hate this response. It's just like... the one I hate, but the other one is just then like...
I don't know. Maybe... I don't know.
Well, yeah, the other one I see is like, oh, we understand that you don't want it, which is more like, okay, so you fucks will try again, because you just, now you just got so much backlash and you feel that it actually hurts your bottom line. So you're just changing it now, not because you've learned anything about it, but because, again, you're like, oh no, people are angry. And it's just, again, that's shitty as fuck. Because I know a lot of devs that, do the actual hard work do not like AI or using AI. They just fucking hate it. But always someone at the top keeps mandating it in, and then the moment it is found out or caught, it's either an oops, we're not supposed to see this, or it's an, well, since you got so mad at us, which is just always shifting the blame away from the, hey, just say that out loud that that someone at the company wanted to do this shit, and you don't want to do it. You see my point of contention. I hate this. Because, yeah, nothing has really changed about how people perceive AI. It's just... I would say a lot of the rich people, just get more brazenly, because the thing is... they kind of just have to... how's it called? I mean, the whole... Listen, I know some people try to pretend it's not, but like AI is a bubble right now. It is completely overblown. I know some people are like, oh, but AI is here to stay. No, it isn't. The technology will be there, sure, but like in every single field, we keep seeing that the usage of AI is more a detriment than a benefit. Like, we've seen so many videos of, people programming, because, I try to learn programming now, that are like, yeah, I stopped using it because in the beginning, it may produce something that worked, but the thing is, the longer you go on and you actually know programming, one thing I am not, this is why I'm not touching that shit, because I want to at least understand the fundamentals. It's the fact that they just keep having bugs, because the majority of code in the world is bad. It's really crap. But guess what kind of code AI is trained on? And
The majority of code, obviously.
yeah, but also more crucially, and this is kind of the important part, AI cannot understand what is good code. AI just sees, well, this is code that was used, and I just predict what the next word will be. And yeah, if you can actually code, you will just see, wait a second, this is just producing garbage I have to clean up all the time. So that's bad. Then it's like, okay, you generate pictures with it. All the pictures just are not good. Like, sure, you could generally make in very edge cases, and this is always when the presentation is their case, they always feed in stuff that already exists, was made by an artist, and then AI just kind of reproduces it. But every time I see AI trying to be used in marketing and advertisement, it's not that this isn't like, being picture quality, but it's lifeless picture quality. Like, I've actually seen, I don't even know which one it is, but like there's a weird Naruto website that is running currently ads. Mm-hmm. Probably like, oh, you can watch Naruto on it, like on a billboard. I'm like, is this even fucking legal? Because I'm pretty sure the licensing for the Naruto anime is at Crunchyroll here in Germany. But, they put literally up AI art of Naruto, and you just sit there being like, this sucks. Like, here's the thing. The irony about AI generation, especially with anime art, is of stuff that looks like anime / Japanese media. It's the fact that it is the epitome of blandness, because it doesn't get why things are. See, when you have an anime, it is an adaptation of usually a manga, and most mangas, okay, are weird. Like, those are things drawn by people, by actual people. Some of them are rough. Some of them have just weird lines. They're detail obsessed and just stunning. There's like if you look at especially Naruto, I would say, if you actually look at the manga of Naruto, the artwork in there versus what is in the anime, you'd realize that the anime has already streamlined and removed a lot of detail. Because Naruto is a really detailed, crunchy, it has a bit of dirt to it in its artwork. And that's, it's just a bit of grit. It's like, it's one of those reasons why I, for example, when we talk about Western comic draws, I actually love the work of Don Rosa and his Dagobert Duck comics, because he has such a great style that is just dirty and rough, and it gives so much character to every single scene. The thing is just, when you're making animation, you can't do that.
Well, you can, but...
But you can, but suddenly, if you do that, your whole budget and everything just goes out of the fucking window.
You end up with the Berserk animes, basically.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You cannot adapt Berserk really the same way, because Berserk is fucking highly detailed, marvelous pieces of art. Every single fucking page. But you have to flatten that to a degree if you want to make an anime. And that's fine. The animation is what should speak. And it's easier to work with more, flattened but recognizable characters than, going for trying to be hyper detailed.
Or Jeff Bezos just gives the money because he has too much anyway.
That's another thing. But I mean, similar, if you look at, for example, you can be pretty detailed, but like the interesting thing is, even if you look at something like One Punch Man Season 1, which is magnificent in terms of animation, because like there's fluid animation and a high grade of detail to the point it's like, yeah, obviously the second, and I don't know how this third season, but I don't even think the third season will sometimes have probably spikes, but Madhouse just fucking outdid themselves, and it cost so much money. Like, there's a reason that the second season just had a lower budget, because everyone was like, yeah, no, sorry. We ain't getting that money back if we keep spending it as the first season. But like, even then, if you compare how scenes look from the manga to the anime, they are flattened. Now the irony is that now you have AI, and they're all getting fed in the anime style. So flattened.
And then they copy from each other.
Yeah, because it's easier. So suddenly you just get all the similar looking faces, all the shiny skin, and it's all the fucking same. It is so utterly devoid of identity. I am amazed. And yeah, again, I get why anime, especially when you put shows side by side, kind of look to a degree similar, because they have to flatten to work as animation better.
To some degree, yeah. I would also say lately it got worse. But that's probably because of the male character stereotype that we have nowadays. Like, they look more the same.
All are Kirito likes.
Mostly.
Don't you just love it if all the guys just look more and more like Kirito? I sure don't.
And then you have the isekai genre getting worse and worse. Like, there are exceptions, sure, but...
God. Hey. You're a loser in real life. What if you could own women as slaves? And you're like, wow. We need to probably talk a little bit about that. That this is so prevalent. Just a teeny tiny bit, maybe. It's a bit fun, But yeah, AI is just bad. So like, if you want to actually make a game that stands out, yeah, like and that's the thing, Look, here's an interesting thing to point out. Currently playing a game that was still made by people that worked from top to bottom to do all of it. They copy some things and want to make them look like previous games, because this is, let's just put it like this, Battlefield 6 is to a degree a damage control product. But this was made by humans. It has identity. It has style. There's a thought put into it. And then there are some people who literally just want to automate everything about this. So it would just be the blandest fucking game ever. But you know what? I don't even think we will see the next one become that. You know why? Because the next Halo game will do that. And it's... Oh my god, the next Halo game is going to suck so much ass. We're going to hit worse level than Infinite. I don't even know how that is possible, but yeah. Microsoft definitely was on a... And the funniest bit about this is, they announced, oh shit, we put we put AI in every single level of development, as if this was something to brag about. After the lead artist of the series for years quit. Which is like, okay. And then, just a few days afterwards, someone at Microsoft, high up, literally went and was like, you know, OpenAI / Oracle is buying so many data centers and building them. That shit is going to be unused. That might be a problem. You're like, you don't fucking say. You don't fucking say that this might be completely insane what we're looking at.
On the side note, people also getting psychosis sometimes from using AI, probably because they're already in a pretty dark place in the first place, but
yeah, that's a different, yeah, that's
because people associated from the world, because the world is shit, sometimes tend to offload their decision making onto others. And what can you offload your decision making easiest nowadays? AI.
yeah, that's another pro. I mean, aside from the fact that AI just has rapid skill deterioration, which is like, listen, okay, I think I'm going to be it's going to be fucking insane to say that, but like, Michael Bay was right to a degree. Because when AI came up, he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna use that shit. Also, no one in my field should be that worried. Because he basically is like, this shit cannot, AI cannot replace art and craft. So, and people want art and craft, so don't worry about that. And like, yeah. He's right about that. Because here's the thing: imagine people, they are now starting to push, AI onto big games like Battlefield. Yeah, the next game is gonna suck. You know what? Be ready for that and have a handcrafted game that is like Battlefield on the ready. You're gonna make bank because people want to play games. They want to keep playing games. They want to have fun with games, but they do not want to have AI slop. And I know it's probably hard to believe sometimes because, we're on the internet. Shit's amplifying voices. And the industry is so desperate right now to actually, literally make it seem as if it's inevitable. It isn't. Like, the fact that it is flailing as much as it does is the best sign of it has problems. And there is a bubble. But yeah, I do hate the fact that so many companies are just like, oops, you source use AI. And it's like, you know what, just say you don't regret it. Just keep it in there. Just don't even fucking do the damage control anymore. I do think.
Well, they have to, that's their job.
Well, yeah, but I do think, to a degree, companies should not be allowed to patch out shit like AI generated images. And you're probably like, oh, but why? Because the thing is, then everyone sees that they did this shit.
True,
it should be a stain of sin.
That's hard to enforce.
I know. This is just a very personal thing to say, but I do think...
I would agree. But it's just hard to enforce, that's all.
Yeah. Don't remove the stains of your sin is it's a dramatic and very Christian way of saying it, but I think that does convey it the best in my opinion. Because, yeah. God, it just... It's kind of insane to sit here and being like... Just think about the fact that some people still push this shit. And it's like... And it's just like... Why? You know? I mean, ironic thing, by the way, that happened a while ago. So the guy that was director for the first Dead Space game.
Yeah.
And by the way, I do think every other Dead Space game was Dead Space 2 was better. Was not like, oh yeah, I offered EA to make Dead Space 4, but they said they're not interested. But he's like, oh, I could totally do it. And, you know, he's like, I would use AI and push down the cost. I'm like, yeah, and you're would create the most boring and shitty game. Like, that is a bland imitation of what it wants to be. Oh, wait, you also did the Callisto Protocol!
Like, in the best case scenario, he would have had to write so many prompts.
Yeah.
And then go in there himself and fix code and clean up assets afterwards. Like, I don't think it will save costs.
You know, the thing is, have a good night, Claire. The thing is, if you want to push the cost of game development down, there are ways. It's like good planning, generally tight development schedule, knowledge with using tools, having a good scope in terms of, you know, graphics, etc. That's like, you can do a lot. You can push a lot down, and I do think a lot of games nowadays are...
How about reducing the salaries of the CEOs and disallow them from getting themselves bonuses?
Oh, that would help a
That would
lot.
probably double production budget already.
Oh, yeah, that would definitely get...
Depending on the company.
It would be such a good idea.
See, I would be the best CEO ever, because I would just go and it's like, okay, let's average the salary of everyone.
Yes.
And we have that. And everything else that would get into my bonuses and stuff, we could just reinvest.
Yeah. Welcome to a very leftist stream, Melmy. But I think you knew that already.
I don't think that's leftist. It's just math.
It is math, yeah. I do, yeah, but you can do a lot with, you know, pushing down stuff. Like, you know, you will never have a full, oh, we don't need to, can't rework, we need to, you know, maybe we need to rework some stuff and such. That's normal, you know, that's actually very normal. Like, for example, if you make a multiplayer game, you're like, sometimes stuff doesn't work out and such, but like, I think the biggest problem is already that a lot of games do not have a plan on how they want to proceed. Like, that's one of those things where I would say, I know people shouldn't, you know, it is very true that games are not, you know, defined by the directors because, you know, it's a team effort. But, like, I can tell you that the games that have, you know, one of those directors that is where everyone's like, oh, they have a great legend, you know, they have credit to their name. That's what I want to say. Those games are usually also not over budget, on time, and are not that expensive. Like, that's an interesting thing that people also were like, oh, but, you know, Metal Gear Solid 5 cost so much, like, Sony's going to sink so much money into, into Hideo Kojima's next game, you know, completely ignoring the fact that the main development cost of Metal Gear Solid 5 was not the game. It was the Fox engine, the thing that was completely over-engineered and complicated, with the only idea of it, you know, maybe being able to license it away. That's why Konami put so much money into it. Because they liked the pitch and the idea, and they were like, oh, maybe we can make our own engine. And,
They basically wanted to be the new Unreal.
yeah. And the Fox engine was just not that. It was a good engine, but, you know, there's a reason Silent Hill F is not on the Fox engine. And then you look at Death Stranding, and what did he do? He just traveled to studio. He traveled studios, quite literally. Literally was like, hey, we make a small branch in Amsterdam so I can work better together with Guerrilla Games. Like they're even in the same fucking building. And whoops, used an engine that was already existent. You know, tweaked it a bit, and Death Stranding was done on time, in budget, no problems. That's the thing. To a degree, this is because, you know, the guy is good at planning. He has the experience, and that is probably the most important skill a producer/director should have. But also, having a director that knows exactly where you want to go, and then you just have to adjust, that is already valuable. Because there are a lot of games out there, okay, where you have directors that go and are like, oh, we want to do this, and then they are like, well, and then we had to rework it because that just happens in game development. And this is always one thing where I'm like, not always, and it should not always happen, because I do think, you know, the more you have a clear vision of where something can go, the easier it is to reach that goal, and the easier it is to actually, that you don't need to fucking rework everything. Because that's one of the biggest holdups you can have. Like, similarly, you know, oh, you write a book and you kind of know where everything, the next things go. Then you just need to write it and maybe adjust a few things. But still, the path is clearer and it's easier. This is also going to be way harder with AI, because, like, if you say, hey, generate this, the AI will generate you either something completely bland or something that you need to keep reworking and reworking and reworking, and this will drain time, energy, money. So the savings are just gonna be worthless. So don't do it. Bad idea. Truly. Bad idea.
Objective marked. We need you supporting the attack.
Yeah, well.
In the fight.
Yep.
Take what you can carry!
Enemies are attacking objective Delta.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the whole bubble thing. It's like
Contact! Enemy infantry!
as you said, yeah, there is more and more investment without any idea of returns, which is bad, actually. But like, yeah. But then again, the argument is always like, the chips are not the product. The quote-unquote services, no one knows who will use them. Those are the actual thing, and those will be worth so much more. And I'm like, in which galaxy?
Objective marked. Reporting to attack.
In which fucking galaxy? Is this the case?
Taking Delta.
Like, not in ours. Like, here's the thing. AI is so utterly desperate for, anyone, just using it. Is that, they just said, hey, we are going to allow that you can generate just NSFW stuff. A thing they didn't do before because they wanted to appeal as, we are safe. Obviously, then they realized one of the only places where AI was used, and not even in that much of a commercial manner, was in king/role-playing scenes. Because yeah, some people like putting up a chatbot and being like, ooh, dom me or something. That is apparently just a thing people used it for. And even then, again, not that big. Also, I would say, hey, you just literally betrayed all the other Kingsters in the world. Like, if you want to do a roleplay, you go on a forum and you find yourself a dom. Or sub. Depending on what you're into. Or both. I'm not judging. You can switch. The thing is just that when we talk about this, it's that they obviously do this now, and yeah, this is definitely also to a degree because payment processors are going after actual the artists and such. That's one thing, but then just to go down that whole field even faster. I went into, I was on YouTube this morning, like literally after I woke up, and aside from the fact that YouTube has no advertisement status anymore, they're like, oh no, you can't say fuck in your videos or these words, or you get demonetized because it would be harmful to our advertisers. But then their advertisers are like AI companies, so fuck them. And then you look at it, and what do they see? It's fucking. They're like, look, you can, our AI chatbot can do things, that wouldn't be allowed on here, and it's a fucking picture of Pokemon Hex Maniac getting railed by a dog. Yep, they are already uploading bestiality ads on fucking YouTube.
It's a striking contrast. Like, I'm not against that, but like,
It's
you
more
cannot-
like,
you cannot say-
okay, do you know what? You just did the thing again. You without.
against the art itself.
It's more like, like if people do their own kink in their homes and do not
Yes.
hurt anyone, live and let live. But it's again the hypocrisy
That's what-
is striking.
I think it was more obvious, but I get why you say it could be misunderstood. I'm obviously talking about the art. Yeah? Like,
Yeah.
if the artist does the art, it's bad, but if an AI does the same thing, then it's fine and you can put it on YouTube.
It's weird. It's just the fucking wild thing. Seeing YouTube ads with slurs in it. Yeah, it's like you look at all of this and you're just like, what the fuck are we doing here? Because, like, you know what? Who are we even supposed to be angry at here? Because, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay?
Actually, YouTube.
You know, YouTube should totally just maybe get all of the fucking, all of, you know, the fucking AI ads out of their system. Yeah, totally. But, like, you know, when some kink, you know, picture went wild beforehand, you know, it was a thing about, you know, it was aimed at usually, you know, normal people, you know, someone who made it, okay? This time it's just, oh, hey, corporate allowed, bullshit. So you're just like, what? It's just fucking wild what is going on here. You're just like, ah, yeah. You know, it's kind of weird to, you know, coming from, growing up in a, you know, if you make something that is quote unquote digressing, social norms, okay, fucking do it yourself. I'm like, we can talk about everything in it later, but like, I'm going to be honest with you here. If you just want to be a very edgy piece of shit or something, or just want to startle people, then again, craft it with your own hands. It's just,
First of all,
it's
and
kind of,
and second, I think they're like a decade too late for that to startle anyone.
I mean, at least here in the USA, you can still startle people. Like, I'm sorry, the Christian Puritan mindset is still very strong in a lot of people in the USA, but like in our generation here, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, like the biggest band in our country routinely made a whole album that was just there to shock people over 30 years ago. So, and a bunch of them are now party hits. So, yeah. That's how much this is just affecting everybody. But again, do it with your own two hands. Because, like, I cannot believe I have to say this, but, like, imagine being on YouTube, okay? And you see an ad for an AI company with an AI-generated bestiality image, and the first thing you think about it is like, whoa, that's bland. Like, this is not an encouragement. This is just like, holy shit, AI is just even when it's supposed to produce shock value, I just look at this and I'm like, that's bad. That's bland. That's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you follow me on Blue Sky because I posted it there.
I'm just looking at it right now, and it's like
it copies so much from, you know, what other people may put onto her, but like in all the most boring ways. It's like, I don't know.
I'm confused.
I'm genuinely like thinking if I should just
Like, why is this so weird? Planet to
because there are a lot of porn images. It's like, you know, makeup smears.
yeah, the makeup
downwards.
I get, but here, like the sides of the mouth,
Yeah, because
so
it's not.
weird. And the line out from the chin is too strong for the sweatpants. It doesn't fit.
Objective Delta neutralized.
So what's that for advertisement anyway? An app that can't show content here with no filter.
Yeah, like, I mean, let's just be real here. Most of this shit is AI generated anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? When they did the whole, use anime figure that people post, starting with, that one girl with from Demon Slayer. Oh, hey, we're circling back to that. With the bamboo in her mouth, which is... Listen, it's weird seeing her sexualized like that in also just this ultra shitty art style. But then again, they also... They had the Patrick Star AI chatbot ads, so... Again, I don't think those ads are actually supervised by any humans.
Could be.
And also, if you're wondering now, what do you mean with it was Patrick Star in all the shiny 3D AI generation that you imagine with a fucking six-pack and this fucking cone hat? Just... Yep. But like... It's just a lot of... Why? Again, I do think people want to have some meaning in art they consume. Even though I use the word consume, people do want meaning in art. It's just a logical thing, I would even say. Like, here's the thing. This is actually an area of expertise where I can tell you this is gonna be a thing. Like, imagine if you just actually sit down and now tell an AI, hey, generate me a map layout for a multiplayer game. You're going to get the most bland structure ever. Because they are always going to use all the things that everyone else is already doing. And, oh wait, maybe Black Ops 7 is AI generated. Who knows? Because their fucking maps are already just like that. Just the most generic overlap possible. And... yeah, the thing is, I don't have that much of a problem with having symmetrical design. Like, you should have some symmetry always in your games. Especially multiplayer ones. But you also should make asymmetrical maps. You should make interesting maps. You should have ideas for what to do. Or what the point of something is. Because we generally have already too much of that right now. And, well... for the damage, I would say. Ah, I thought you wanted to. Sorry.
No.
Yeah. I don't think, stuff made by humans will keep being up top. It's just the worst part is going through the whole everything is currently just falling apart stage because
Can I point out a definitional problem you have with that sentence?
what? Made by humans? Because
Yeah.
technically humans can also I know.
No, because AI is also made by humans.
Yeah, but the thing AI puts out is not made by humans.
Technically, yes. Because that's like saying a donut machine is the donut made by a donut machine is not made by a human.
I mean, yes, it is not made by human hand. That's true. That's why it also produces usually more uniform donuts.
But
and
it is made by humans to make donuts in a specific way.
that's the thing I really hate because like when you're talking about the donut machine, I remember how AI advocates are like, oh, it's just the same like that. We already.
Of course, it's not the same. That's not the point.
Because you can't actually you can't how's it called, automate creativity. Like, by the way,
I don't know if you can't, but the current models sure can't.
yeah,
Like they're just taking everything in and give you the most probable quote-unquote answer according to what you type in there. Pretty impressive technically, but also pretty useless.
yeah, it's like okay for a few things. And the funniest thing for me is that when people are like, oh, but you could do stuff within engines and stuff, and like, yeah, it, not one of them ever actually explained to me how the new tech that is more, that is, more energy intense, that hogs more resources, and is basically just again a chatbot. How that is good to be implemented? Like you wouldn't implement ChatGPT into a fucking engine. They already have some form of prediction or terrain generation. That's in games for years now. Fuck it, decades. Like fucking Skyrim was made because they were like, okay, we need to have some terrain generated on some values because they were like, oh, we want these features, like certain mountains and such, but they were just not sure about the rest. So they just rolled some things, then we're like, maybe take this, and then they worked on it. That's a thing I get because it has been done for, again, fucking Skyrim. Their generation was so good, they re-released it 10 times. But yeah, I get stuff like that, but again, what do we need ChatGPT for then? Because all of the stuff that actually works doesn't need large language models, or not the ones that are currently advertised. They run on local PCs and are not even as resource intensive. Like I brought this up a while ago, a few streams ago. Someone actually developed a new algorithm / method to do how's it called, object collisions in rendering. So basically, you can now render clothing, especially clothing, thin textures without clipping. You can render clothing without clipping, and it doesn't need some shitty AI literally works on normal PCs. That's impressive as fuck.
Bravo is under attack.
That's like, that's just like someone just cracked the the 3D rendering code, Holy Grail. And yeah, no AI needed, just someone reworking how things are basically just rendered slash programmed, and that's it. I already joked about the fact that, hey, we can now have the best version of Bloodborne remastered, because it has a lot of close physics, and it would be fucking amazing if it ran on ran and didn't have any clipping. That would be genuinely so cool. Like, imagine stuff like the Bloodstuff Beast, for example. No clipping, all the flaps are just rendered perfectly. That would be cool. But once again, didn't need any AI for that. Game right here. Battlefield 6. Looks great, right? Yeah, it's good art style, all of that. Interestingly, while it does have upscaling technology built in, because I do think upscaling technology is generally a solid feature to have, but also, hey, one of the few things that do work, on the local PC again, and have actually an upside, thanks NVIDIA. It doesn't have ray tracing. Why? Because the devs were just like, yeah, we want performance, not graphic fidelity. That is stupid. Oh, whoops! And look at that. Suddenly you have a game that can run on it runs. They're keeping reports of people playing this game on GPUs and CPU combinations that are just way below what is the recommendation, and it runs. Because turns out if you actually optimize your game, oh wow, it's gonna be a solid game usually. Yep. Always doing Yep Central. By the way, if you're wondering, yes, I mean that with next Tuesday, we're gonna start actually playing more Battlefield on this channel, because there's also the next season launching next week, so okay, sorry. I just ran up to the anti-air and threw a mine under it. Hurt myself, but who cares? See, that's the kind of bullshit an AI could never generate.
Or it will just scrap enough of exactly these moments from Twitch until it only generates them.
Oh god, that would be the most boring game of them all.
Yeah. Because cool moments are cool because they don't happen all the time.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why people nowadays are like, hey, why do MMOs feel shit? Hey, because raids and shit was supposed to be a rare thing not everyone did. That was the point.
Base game was supposed to be fun.
The base
until
game,
you get there already.
Yeah, the base game and climb was supposed to be what you did. You should spend hundreds of hours playing the normal game and having fun, and then maybe, just maybe, you find a group and can actually do an endgame dungeon. And so it was a special occasion. It was fun. It was unique. And it was completely streamlined. And now it's not special anymore. Oh. Hmm. You know, that's also why I keep saying, hey, how's it called?
I knew you had my back.
How's it called? Destiny 1 and 2 actually has such a loyal community because, well, what do you expect if you have a game where, you know, the end game is actually something you have to do with people you communicate with?
Game is still pretty boring.
You know, everything up. That's the problem. From what I hear, the end game, good. Getting to the end game, boring.
Which is precisely what we just criticized.
Yeah. It could be so much better, and I hate the fact that this is the case. There's a lot you could like about it, but
But I'd argue after that round we should finally eat.
yeah, I totally wanted to quit after that round. It's basically the perfect moment to quit.
Cool.
I mean, I have a new weapon, which is the Scar. Ooh.
It's a stupid name for a weapon.
Do you know why it's called Scar?
No.
I knew it, and but I don't know the details anymore.
So you don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know it now.
Interesting.
Da, 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 da. The FN Scar. It's Fabrique Nationale, so it's French. Belgian, but Belgians are French to a degree. So Fabrique Nationale, Special Operations Forces, Combat Assault Rifle.
That's awfully specific.
Okay. It was actually.
Also, I never want to hear from any military Republican heads ever again about something people wanting to feel special if pretty much every force is called Special Force. It's
Do you know why they're called Special Forces?
because they're special, of course.
It's not the. No! That's not the reason!
I do not listen to military jargon. My brain makes.
So the Special Forces are called Special Forces because they are specialized.
How
They-
that's still this stupid because everything is specialized to do something.
Not really. They're not the standard forces.
The standard forces are specialized in being standard.
Hey, chat, do you know I live with this person?
Or in Germany's case, it's the military force that waits until actual military shows up.
I mean, that's kind of stupid considering that this wasn't the point of the Bundeswehr, but...
It kinda is nowadays.
Well,
It gets better again.
it's really just ironic considering we still had the most troops, but it was definitely to a degree it was definitely to a degree a situation of they were supposed to hold the line until more troops are coming.
Yeah. So technically, they're specialized in holding the line, right? Just
I
with
guess.
just with comparably cheaper equipment because you need lots of them. Then again, depends on the definition of specialization.
It's mostly about...
Because if you're saying, oh, they have to be specialized in one thing, okay, then the normal troops wouldn't fall under that category. But then you need to define one thing, because mountaineers are probably good in mountainous terrain, but also would probably fight pretty well in canyons. So are they not specialized anymore? Because those are two different terrain types. or are they not mountaineers, but specialized in terrain with high altitude deviations? But then they're not scuba divers, are they? And
But I was still with
yeah,
one deals with rocks, one deals with water.
okay, one deals with rocks, one deals with water. When does sand become rock? Because then the
Stop
mountaineers...
melting me with philosophical core questions of reality.
Because at that point, mountaineers would also be effective in the deserts, which I'm sure they're not. Depending on the desert type. And when sand becomes rocks. Because they're rocky deserts.
Let's move!
I guess.
At least I'm having my fun.
That's wonderful. Love that you have fun. Imagine if you didn't have fun. Imagine if you had to. I don't know.
Then I would need to find something more fun than what I'm doing right now.
Tomorrow's still outward, right?
Yep.
Huh.
That is fun.
It is. But now I'm hungry right now, so I don't can't think of it as fun. 'Cause I'm hungry.
Yeah, think of it as hungry.
Hungry. I'm hungry.
The wall of flesh spawns hungry.
Yeah, I know.
You aren't allowed to join.
I am not allowed to join. Which is evil.
Technically, it's an artistic decision
What?
that you cannot join.
Why an artistic?
Because games are art, thus everything in them is an artistic decision.
I mean, yes.
Blue lost.
Yes. Our team lost because they kinda suck.
Well then.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. Hope you liked this extra round of yapping, which was kind of there to just rant a bit about AI, because it is infuriating that AI is just still shielded so much
The world,
by influence people, even though you can see how it's just running against a wall, you know?
the world would be a lot better if people were just, I don't know. I don't know what politicians are. Like,
Spineless. They're usually spineless.
yes, but it's like nearly nobody ever that goes into politics has a spine in the end.
And those that do, they're like, oh my god, we need to remove that.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you all around tomorrow for Outward. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend of you. Bye.
Bye.